Jolan True, fellow captains and admirals. This is Jerry, hailing you from the Antares Shipyard, bringing you another episode of To Boldly Build. If you are new to this series, this is a episode where I take a part of fleet and just look at a ship build or an interaction between a couple of ships and kind of talk about them, talk about the cards that are involved, and how fun the build is, and please feel free to take this and use it. So today's is going to be a little bit of a complicated one, but I promise you, if you hang on with me and follow me, you're going to be fairly surprised with this fun combination that I found that actually took me to the finals of one of our tournaments over at the Fremont Reformation Discord. So the title of this episode is Omag's Deal. So let's take a look at the ship cards, and we actually have pretty much a full fleet this time, so it's not just a ship, but it's 2 ships and 2 support ships that I recommend. So the first ship that's necessary for this is going to be Goss Marauder, Ghent, the rules of acquisition, cargo hold, Chulak, Grilka, Ingarin, and Omag. So let's take a closer look at Goss Marauder here, which comes from the Decora card pack. It is a Decora class, 3143, tech weapon crew, 20 points. That is a good deal for a Decora class. But more importantly, we picked this ship because of its ability. Activation phase. After this ship executes a green maneuver, place 2 time tokens on this card. Remove a disabled token from one upgrade equipped to this ship, or equip a Ferengi upgrade that was discarded from this ship to this ship. That's important for later. And we'll have to make sure we remember that in the back of our minds here. So let's talk about the captain. It is a skill 2 captain, and there's a reason for that. It is Ghent. He is from the Ferengi faction pack. You may only equip Grand Nagus and the rules of acquisition upgrades or elite talent upgrades to this captain. Setup: place 2 gold press platinum tokens on this card. When you would spend 1 or more GPLT, gold press platinum tokens, you may roll a number of defense dice equal to the number of GPLT that would be spent. For each evade, spend 1 fewer GPLT. So if you were to do an action that spends 3 gold press platinum tokens, you would roll 3 defense dice, and if you got 3 evades, then that action is free, and you don't lose any gold press platinum tokens. So the next card in this build is not completely necessary, but it's nice to have. It is the rules of acquisition, 1 per ship, locked to a Ferengi captain. Setup: place 6 gold press platinum tokens, GPLT, on the captain equipped to this ship. So now Ghent has access to 8 gold press platinum tokens. And of course, it's not necessary, but it is nice to have. Coming in at 5 points, it is a little pricey. Next, we've got Cargo Hold, which is from the Quark's Treasure expansion. It allows you to add 2 upgrade slots, crew or tech, to your upgrade bar. These upgrades cannot have a cost greater than 4 SP. So that means both upgrades that are equipped to those slots have to equal 4 SP. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Ferengi ship, and no ship may be equipped with more than 1 cargo hold upgrade. Alright, the next card in this pack comes from the Live Long and Prosper faction pack. This is Chulak. Free action. Place 3 scan tokens besides this ship. In phase, if you use Chulak's free action, you must discard 1 crew upgrade equipped to this ship. So we'll talk more about him in the action economy for this ship. The next card in this pack is Grilka. She comes from the Ferengi faction pack. You do not pay a faction penalty when equipping this card to a Ferengi ship. Opposing effects that cost 1 or more GPLT cost plus 1 GPLT. So if your opponent is also running Ferengi and they're running gold press platinum, Grilka makes them pay extra to do their action. So if they're going to spend a GPLT to place a battle station next to their ship during the combat phase, they'll actually have to spend 2 GPLT to get that battle stations. Again, she's really nice for being a 1-point crew, and we'll get more into why she's here. Ingarin. Action. When attacking this round, you may convert one of your battle station results into a crit result, and all of your other battle station results into hit results. So she's going to be probably the main action that most people take on this ship or this build. She can convert these results, and we will again talk about the reason why she's here. But the real card, the real reason this build exists, is this card right here. And again, it is a little wordy, but let's get to it. So this is Omag. He comes from the Goss Marauder expansion, which I believe was a blind booster ship that has to get pulled. Between any of the phases, you may discard this card to remove a disabled token from one of your weapon upgrades, or when attacking during the declare target step, you may discard this card to target a ship at range 1 to 3. Choose one non-board weapon upgrade on the target ship with a printed cost of 4 or less, and disable it to perform its attack as if it were deployed to your ship. Now, keep in mind that he does not specify that you have to target an enemy ship. You can target a friendly ship, which is the basis behind this build. So, if we're talking here, the action economy for this build is going to be to run in Gorn as your main action, and then in the attack phase, if you've got somebody in your forward firing arc and you are going to use Omag's ability to reach back and grab this weapon we're going to talk about, then the free action you're going to use is Chulak, because you're going to want the 3 scan tokens to kind of minimize your defense dice. And the action that you would use with your GPLT would be to either grab an invade token or grab another scan token. Because you're not actually performing that action, you're placing those tokens. That allows you to do that even more. Now, at the end phase, you do have to get rid of a crew. So that's why Grilka is here. She's a 1-point cheap discard crew that gives Chulak the ability to run twice. Now, which ship is going to accompany this that they're going to reach back and grab a weapon off of? Well, that's going to be this Gorn Raider here with Captain Idrin and Disruptor Bombardment. And then these 2 ships down here are just kind of the recommended support ships that I recommend you run with this build. And we'll get into the more reasons of why. But first, let's take a look. This is a Gorn Starship. This one comes from the Gorn Raider card pack. Again, just a cheap card. 3133, Tech Weapon Crew. We don't really need... You could run the Gressrail here and grab its named ability. But again, we're trying to save points. It is a point-heavy fleet here. So the captain we're running is an interesting captain for this build. It is Idrin. He counts as a Hirogen captain. Skill 3, Elite Talent, 2 cost. He comes from the Hirogen Hunting Vessel card pack. And activation phase, place 2 time tokens on this card and remove a disable token or up to 2 time tokens from a tech or weapon upgrade equipped to this ship. The disable token part is the part that matters, because you have to remember when Omag targets a ship and uses its weapon, he has to disable it. So now, during the next activation phase, Idrin can re-enable the next card. Oh, I guess we went backwards. He can re-enable the next card, which is Disruptor Bombardment. So, Disruptor Bombardment, 1 per ship, locked to a Gorn Raider only. That's kind of the reason why I decided to build this build, is I wanted to see if I could take Disruptor Bombardment and use it on a different ship. Omag accomplishes that because now we're making a Disruptor Bombardment attack from a Decora class, which a lot of people don't see coming. Because a lot of people see a Decora class and they think, oh man, that's just a Decora. It's just Ferengi. They're not going to be able to hurt me. No, Disruptor Bombardment can hurt you. Especially since it can make an attack against every single ship, and it's a different attack roll each time. On top of that, planets and obstacles don't stop it. Whoops, we went backwards again. My apologies. So, let's talk about Lurin's Bird of Prey. So this ship is one of the support ships that I prefer, or you should run with this. It comes from the Ferengi faction pack. Lurin's Bird of Prey, Burrell class, 4133. Tech, weapon, crew, 18 points. Pretty cheap for a named Burrell. Captain phase, or combat phase. If there is an opposing ship in the primary firing arc of this ship, and the primary firing arc of another friendly Ferengi ship with a Ferengi captain equipped to it, target that friendly ship. This ship attacks first this game round, and the target ship attacks second this game round. So, with Ghent being such a low captain skill, I recommend running Lurin's Bird of Prey because Lurin's Bird of Prey counteracts captain skill. If you've got somebody in your forward firing arc of this ship, and then the forward firing arc of the Ferengi ship, now keep in mind it doesn't have to be the same exact ship as long as both ships have an opposing ship in their primary firing arc. This ability applies. There's no range on it. So Lurin's will get to attack first, and then the Decora, Goss's Marauder, can attack and use Omag's ability to reach back, grab that disruptor bombardment, and throw it out there and hit all ships that are in front of it, using Chulak, and then discarding Omag at the end. Now, also, and I forgot to talk about this, but Goss's Marauder allows you to bring back a Ferengi card that was equipped to that ship if you do a green maneuver. So you could potentially pull the Omag out of the hat more than once. But I recommend Lurin's Bird of Prey to kind of help that happen. Now, the next support ship we're going to talk about, it's not a necessity, but it helps, is the USS Intrepid. So this is a 4-ship fleet when I run it. I bring Intrepid, it's bare bones when I bring this Constitution class. It's 3143, comes from the Live Long and Prosper faction pack. Tech Weapon Crew, 20 points. Free action, place an Ox Power token besides the ship and target a friendly ship within range 1 to 2. Place a Scan token and an Evade token besides the ship and the target ship. So I use this ship a lot to target Goss's Marauder when I know I'm going to get my little bag and my trick off. Because at that point, I'm going to place the 3 scan tokens from Chulak. I'm going to get another scan and evade next to my Goss's Marauder from the Intrepid. So that's 4 scans. And then I could spend a GPLT token to place another scan to get a grand total of 5 scans next to my ship. And, cloaking ships roll 6 defense dice. All of a sudden, against my disruptor bombardment, they're rolling 1 defense dice. And you can take out a cloaked fleet quickly that way. Or you can run his shields down quickly that way. And then the nice thing is the next turn, you can undisable your disruptor bombardment from Idrin, and again, be able to use disruptor bombardment because you should be flying Lurin's Bird of Prey and the Decora class next to each other. And then I would put the Gorn Raider behind them. That way, in that kind of formation, you can use disruptor bombardment again from the Gorn Raider and hit them twice with it. Alright, so Goss's Marauder comes in at a whopping 43 SP, so there is still some room. I don't think there are any extra slots, but you can obviously put other cards in the build, take some out. If you do, please let me know in the comment section below what you did. Or if you run this, please put the battle report in the comment section below. I would really love to hear what people think of this build. Again, the Gorn Raider is just an 18 SP, just a cheap ship to put in. 2 support ships I recommend are Lurin's Bird of Prey and USS Intrepid, but you don't have to do that. So what you need for this build, to build it as I have it, is 1 Ferengi faction pack, a Decora class card pack, Quark's Treasure expansion, the Live Long and Prosper faction pack, the IKS Karaga expansion, the Nunk's Marauder blind box, Corrosion Hunting Vessel card pack, and the Gorn Raider card pack. Alright. So let's go ahead and let's pull up the wheel of builds, and we'll give this guy a spin to see what we're going to talk about next week. And it looks like we'll be talking about the Wharf effect. That is one of my favorite bread and butter builds right there. That is an IKS Vorn. But we'll talk more about that next week. Again, thank you to everybody for watching. Please, let's continue the conversation down in the comments section. Go ahead and put it down there. I definitely want to hear if you guys use these builds or not. On top of that, make sure you give this video a like if you like this kind of content. That's the kind of the fuel that keeps us going. And share the video with friends and family, or don't share it with your enemies. And subscribe to the channel. That way we can help keep growing our presence here on YouTube. Alright, I'll put 2 videos here at the end. that you might like, and have a good day.